Okay, y'all. So we are so excited for today's conversation. We are talking to two dope podcast hosts, TT and Zakia. They are Black women scientists who executive produce and host the Dope Labs podcast, which I am a fan of. And if you haven't heard of it, go listen to it because you will be a fan of it too. So on Dope Labs, they serve up scientific principles with a healthy dose of tea. And you know we love a little mix and a mingle over
We
here. We
do.
like we like the combination. So TT and Zakia, welcome to the show. We are so excited to have you guys here. Girls here with us today.
Thank you so much for having us. We're very excited to
Yes,
be here.
absolutely.
Yes. So let our listeners know who y'all are, your journey, how you got here, the whole spiel.
So I'm TT and that's Zakia, and we have been friends since grad school. We became very, very fast friends. She was already in grad school when I started, and so she really like took me under her wing because I thought, okay, there's no way I'm finishing this degree. Um, but we bonded in struggle, and also bonded over drinks a lot of the time, and
Mm.
we had a really great time talking to each other about our research, about other people's research, and when we were out at bars and things like that, we people would come up to us. My friend Zakia has never met a stranger. And
You
Aw.
so
like to talk to strangers.
she's
I
always
do.
going to talk to strangers. Me, I'm like, stranger danger, no. And people would ask us, what are your names? What do you guys do? We say that, we're both PhD students. And they would ask what in, and we would say, I'm in engineering, Zakia's in genetics and genomics. The floodgates were open, and people would just start asking us all of these questions that felt like were burning a hole in their hearts that they had been holding on to, but felt like too, like, what would you say, embarrassed to ask?
I don't know. When people start having drinks, it's different.
It's
The
very
Yeah.
conversation can go so many ways.
uh-huh,
Right.
uh-huh. And so we had people just asking us questions like, I don't really understand rainbows, and I don't really understand buoyancy, and DNA doesn't really make sense to me. And we were like, okay, yeah, that's fair. Let's talk about it. And so through that process, we were like, there's really a space for us to create a safe space for folks to get some of the questions that they've always had answered and show them that science is really everywhere and everyone is a scientist deep down inside and make it fun.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think like one of the things we really try to do is help people see like, okay, everything deserves to be questioned.
Hmm.
I think like if you think back to what you were really learning in science, nobody was gonna say that, understanding what's going on with your edges is really science. Baby, it is.
It is.
It
It
is.
is.
And if your explore page look like my explore page, you
Hmm.
definitely know that it is,
Hmm.
right? And so I think one of the things we really try to do with Dope Labs is help people see like there's some science all
Hmm.
around you, and don't think that you got to have on a lab coat
Mm.
and glasses, not fashionable glasses like TT has on,
I was about to
but
say, okay, well, pause.
but don't think you got to look a certain way and only talk a certain way and be
Hmm.
stiff and dry, and that's what it takes to be a scientist, because that's not it.
Period. I love. Okay, I'm a scientist
Sure.
too. Start
Yeah.
That's right.
referring to me as such.
I knew I was a scientist once you guys broke down the science of cuffing season. I said, okay. Period. Yes, we are all scientists because I know it's some science behind this shit. So yes, you
Yes.
guys
Hmm.
are so right. We
Got to be
are.
strategic.
Yes, yes. So I love that you all are best friends who became best friends in the struggle. It's funny because Germany and I have a similar tale
We
of how we became best friends in the struggle. As you all know, we met in college. We
Mhm.
were line sisters. The struggle doesn't get
More
much lower
struggly
than
than that.
Yeah,
I
a real deep,
understand.
deep, painful struggle.
yes. So, being that you all are two black women who are also in science, we've had a conversation a couple episodes ago about navigating corporate America, how we sometimes have to show up palatable,
Mhm.
especially in those settings. How do you both navigate that space as black women in this very um,
White
white
space.
space? Yeah,
Right.
white.
That's the perfect word for it.
White.
White. Z, you want to start?
um I mean, I can. I'm not really, it's been quite a journey, right? A lot of this, I think, is we came along in like scientific pipeline, I guess, when things were kind of starting to change. When we were in grad school, I mean, we were already in grad school. We were saying, okay, what is it going to take to have our own community? Like, we got to help each other. And so we had a group in grad school. It was
Right.
for anybody that was in the sciences getting a PhD that was a minority. And that's actually how I knew TT so well, because I was president of this society. It was called the Boucher Society. It was after Edward Alexander Boucher, who was, I think, the first black man to get his PhD, and he got it at Yale in the sciences.
You paved the way. You paved the way.
Yes,
You opened
thank
up
you,
a door.
Dr. Boucher. And so we had this group, and we would just like stick together, and it was like the Underground Railroad of information, right? Because people were saying, like, don't work with this advisor. If this person is on your committee, do things this way. And so we were already building our own community. And I think that was like my first experience, separate from like some little summer programs I had done in undergrad. Like, that was my first experience of like community building in like an academic setting in that way. And I think I was chasing that like at every other institution after, and baby, these institutions do not love you back. And I think that was the lesson that I was able to learn pretty early on. So I went on after grad school to get to do my postdoc and to become a tenure track professor, assistant professor, and then I was like, they really don't love you back. And so I think some of that is, as you continue to grow and develop and kind of spread your wings, and you're like, okay, I'm learning all these things, I'm doing all these things, but some of this is not adding up. You know, what people are saying is not matching what they're doing. And you find, oh, I'm both doing diversity work and doing all the teaching and doing, all this training and underpaid.
Girl.
Can't be all of that now. Can't be all of those.
You gotta pick one.
And so I think some of it was, creating our own spaces, like with Dope Labs, where we can say, okay, this is how we talk. And we get people writing us and saying, oh, if you talk like
Stop
this, or if you
talking
said
like
it
that.
this way, you would seem much more scientific or much more professional.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Seriously.
Right?
That's basically what we said. We were like,
Girl.
Yeah.
What the heck? I commend you for even being in the education system. I thought about that at one point. I was in grad school and I was like, ooh, I need to get a doctoral degree and make an impact in the Cal State system. Child, when I really got to looking through some things, I said, hold on. I don't think it's for me.
right.
I don't think it's for me. I'm going to go ahead and sit that down and let the stronger queens take care of it. So I'm glad you are.
You
Holding
just
the flame.
realized earlier than we did. Okay.
Girl. But it's so commendable. It's admirable. I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything to add, TT, or did Zakia just take it away?
Zakia summed it up really nicely. I mean, finding community was something that was really important, and something that, honestly, I've learned from Zakia. As soon as I showed up to Duke and someone pointed me in that direction and she pulled me in so tightly and so closely, like, I really felt like, okay, this is a team effort. I'm not just by myself having to struggle alone. Like, there's somebody who's also struggling, but also knows more than I know and is willing to help me, because sometimes in the scientific space, it can feel like dog eat dog. Like, people are hiding notes. People are throwing away your books because they're trying to mess up the curve so that you can't study and all these things like that. And it can be just like animalistic, with people just trying to get ahead. But when I met Zakia, it was the exact opposite. It was like, listen, we can all get it. There's enough to go. There's enough success to go around for all of us. So let's get it. And it was just so refreshing and so rejuvenating, and made me really excited about the possibilities when it came to my career. So, like she said, I after that, I search for it everywhere I go, and that's something that's really important. That was and still is a very important part of my career.
I love that. I love that.
What you
know,
not
you
saying that she had whiplash when I pulled her in.
I love that y'all found each other, though.
Yeah, she's like, girl, put on your lipstick. We're going to the bar.
You are not playing around. Sisterhood is so important to us.
Yes.
I love to see that you guys are not only two best friends, but two best friends who work together through your podcast.
Yeah.
Like Brittany and I wonder how has it been working together? How do you guys balance working, having some sort of gig together, and your friendship? Because you both appear, and I'm sure are, very smart and, you know, ready, assertive. How does that work for you all in friendship and in work?
I'm gonna let TT take that.
I think it works really well, and I feel like it is because of who Zakiya is. I'm really gonna just shine a light on her really quickly. She really knows her strengths, and she knows my strengths, and she wants everybody to shine. So in the areas where she knows that I'm gonna do well, she is like, take it away. You see how she said, TT, I'm gonna let you take that. Like, she's like, take it away, girl, because she really wants all of her friends to shine. And so when we started doing the podcast together, it just fit so well into our normal friendship because we talk to each other all the time. We're always we're talking on every platform, Twitter, Instagram.
Right.
TikTok.
Everything.
She's FaceTiming me. We're doing it all. And so adding the show as a place where we communicate with each other, I felt like deepened our friendship because it gave us another reason to really sink in deeper into the friendship, and also illuminated some areas where we could balance each other out, where, you know, I can be really tightly wound and anxious, and Zakiya would be like, oh girl, you the best to ever do it. You gonna kill it. You the greatest woman alive. You the smartest woman I know. You the most beautiful woman I know. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. And I just try and reciprocate that love and that energy, and it really just feeds our friendship. Like, without the show, we would still be friends. I know we would still be friends.
I know. I hope you know it now.
What'd you say?
I hope you know it now.
I know it now. There was a time. we had a whole episode on attachment styles, and my attachment style is not
Anxious.
Is very anxious. Okay, so I always think like, okay, this person doesn't want to be my friend anymore. This friendship is done. It's okay. And Zakiya's like, girl, where are you going?
Yeah, I'm like, we just started. We just getting started. We just getting to the good part. But also, I'm a last minute person, and TT is a planner, and so I think, you know, when you try to balance, I don't know how it is for y'all.
We'll tell you.
I want to know. Yeah,
I want to know.
I want to know because I was like, you know, I think I'm cooling, and my friend is going through it, and so it can be really hard. And I think when you feel really comfortable with somebody, you know they're gonna love you
regardless.
And so I really settle into last minute. It's cozy. And that is
that.
hard.
What's your signs? I need to know now.
Now we in that bag.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm a Leo.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Gemini.
Ooh.
That's what everybody always says, like, oh.
My mom is a
wild
Gemini.
over here.
My mom is a Gemini, and her mom is a Leo.
She is.
Okay, cute.
Wow, look at that. A switch.
What y'all think that means for us as friends?
Right.
I don't know. I just when people say what their sign is, I'm like, I just relate it to like certain qualities that I am familiar with and people that I know. So I don't know what that means for you both as friends. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm always, anytime people tell me the characteristics of a Leo, I'm just like, that does not sound like me. But then they say, oh, that's what a Leo would say.
Oh.
Yeah. I have a little Leo in me, but you guys seem cool. When you guys were explaining your friendship, I was like, not y'all being us, because I think the balance of...
They froze for me too. Uh-oh. Are you back?
Are we back?
We're here.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Let me just make a little note on my phone of where we're doing this so that I can edit it better. 14 minutes.
She's into the details. She's a Virgo, y'all.
My husband's a Virgo. Child, spreadsheets on spreadsheets on spreadsheets. My God. I don't know how y'all do it.
She's a Virgo.
It's just we just do it. We just do it. Okay, so yeah, back to it. When you both were explaining your dynamic, I think having that balance of you're tight strung, TT, but Zakiya is more like cool. makes it work because it's like we can't both be up here. Somebody needs to be able to bring the other person down, or if the other person's down, the other one needs to be able to bring that person up so that we can get shit done. Because if we both on the floor, baby, if we both last minute, deadlines will not be reached. You know? So I think that balance is just makes a chef's kiss, and I definitely identified with a lot of what y'all are saying.
Who do you think do you think you're the tightly wound one or the relaxed one?
I think I'm relaxed.
I'd agree.